what's word everyone, E-Monster here, and today we're with Mr. Dennis, the breeder of the ultimate piebald Smokestream, and today I'm going to be asking him a couple of questions. Now, Mr. Dennis, what got you into breeding reptiles, and why specifically the ball python?
Well, I've always had a fascination with animals and snakes in particular from the time I was a little kid and out catching and what I used to call creek hopping. And I taught my boys, and we would go creek hopping and catch snakes, turtles, frogs, anything we could come across. But eventually I started out breeding colubrids, and that was right when I first saw the first piebald and got very interested in the ball pythons. And I traded off my whole colubrids collection for a pair of het albino ball pythons. They just look like normals, and I grew them up and I produced my first albinos. And at that time I was selling them wholesale for $1,900 a piece. The next year $1,500 a piece. Now they're down to $200. But I've enjoyed doing the ball pythons. I've got a small collection. I got rid of about half of it, cut back on all the different projects I had, and just try to concentrate on just a few. And like the father of your snake, this one is 100% het for albino. It's carrying the albino gene. And the mother is also a piebald, 100% het for albino. And when bred together, yours, by not being a full albino in it, yours is 66% chance, 2/3 chance carrying the albino gene.
Wow.
So you have 2 out of 3 chance of taking an albino and breeding to your male and getting albinos het for pied, because the father is a pied.
Cool. Or
you could get an albino that's carrying the piebald gene, and you got 2 out of 3 chance of producing this snake over here, the albino piebald.
Wow, she is so gorgeous.
Yeah. Now that's albino and piebald combined, and it takes a long time and a lot of effort to finally produce one of these. But I'll show you the mother to your snake, because I was determined what I wanted to do. I bred 2 piebalds that were both 100% carrying the albino gene. I knew I would get all piebalds, but there was a 1 in 4 chance I would produce the albino piebald. So I did it that way breeding, but that made all the pieds only 2/3 chance carrying the pied gene. I mean the albino gene. So anyway, this is the mother. She's not as high a white as yours or the...
She actually kind of looks like a champagne.
Well, I have a very unusual champagne that I'll show you in a few minutes. But yeah, she's a lower white. See, you can take a low white and produce a higher white, and vice versa. She just laid eggs not too long ago, which is the eggs that, well, actually they've already hatched. This is her babies. These would be half siblings to yours. All 3 of these are normals, but they're double het for the albino and piebald gene. This albino here is 100% carrying the piebald gene. So anyway, let me put this one away, and we can go for a little more tour here, unless you want to ask some more about the parents to this one.
No. So we just met Smokestream's parents a few seconds ago, and now here's a question for fun, Mr. Dennis. What is your favorite ball python morph, and why?
It's actually more plain.
Oh.
I've done this for years to get the albino piebald. But I've gotten to where I really like this little female that not necessarily likes to be held. she looks like a normal as far as color, but her pattern, she's called a wamba. And she's like a spider, except she doesn't have the white side. She has a reduced pattern and stuff. And I bred her to banana last year and got banana wambas, and they were beautiful. And I wish I'd have kept one back, but I let it go. But
wow.
Just the pattern and on this is so neat looking, and I like it. But also, I have what's called a leopard, and when you breed the leopard, which has a more darker, heavier pattern, you create what's called a raven's claw. The first raven's claw I saw had even more reduced pattern than the wamba, and it just like slits of color. But then I've seen other ones that look more like a leopard. Now I'm going to try breeding those next year, or this coming season. And you asked about the champagne. Mm-hmm. I have an unusual champagne that it has all this high white, and from what I understand, it was born all white.
Wow. And
then it developed a pattern. It almost looks like a super pastel piebald, but when the man sold it to me, he said it originally came from Peter Call, which is the originator of the piebalds. He didn't know what all genes were in it, and I've been doing some research on them. Usually anytime a champagne comes out like this with the high white, it's usually het for piebald like yours.
Wow.
So I'm going to try and prove him out this coming season to see if he is actually carrying the piebald gene. And let's see. This is a pure candy albino, and this is and the pure candy is carrying the piebald gene like this one, and this piebald here is carrying the candy gene. So what I will produce when I breed these together, hopefully with the odds hit right, excuse me, will look like the albino piebald, except it's going to have the purple mixed in where the yellow is. It'll have purple pattern in it, and it'll be a Candino piebald. Now see, Candino is a combination of candy albino and regular albino. Like this is the regular albino. This one, the white's not quite as white, but let's see. Here's another. These are all females. Now that's just a normal albino. This albino is carrying the piebald gene, and this albino is carrying the piebald gene. They're both females. So hopefully I'll produce more. Well, actually, this coming season, that candy over there, I'm going to breed it to. Nope, no, I take it back. I'm breeding the father of yours to these two.
Cool.
But these piebald females, I'm going to breed that candy het for pied to these and try to make the Candino piebalds. This one I produced, and I kept it back. It's a very low white.
And that's his mother right there, right?
Yeah, that's the mother of yours. This is a very low white. I kept her back to use for breeding. She has one bad eye from incubation. Speaking of, this is my incubator right here. And I've got 3 clutches of eggs here. I should be getting some more eggs. And these just hatched a few days ago. These should hatch by the end of this month. Probably a few days before the end of the month. So they've got about a week more before they'll be ready to hatch. All right. This is a Candino. This is it's half regular albino, which is this, and the father was a pure candy, like this one. These hadn't been handled much, but this is a pure candy, and so this is a Candino. It's a combination. So actually, she's up to breeding size now, and these I don't breed until they're at least 1,500 grams. Some breeders do 1,000, 1,200. I think it's way too small, too young.
Yeah, because next year I am going to be interested in breeding him.
Well, he's actually, males can breed in a smaller size.
Oh.
These bananas aren't all that big. Well, it's got size. Well, bananas grow so fast, and the males, they also mature and breed, you know, their first year. They don't have to be a whole year old. And some people can say about 450 grams for a male can start breeding, which these have done it. These are bigger than that now, but this is actually their second season for breeding. So that's another banana. That's a pastel banana there. And let's see. All right, now I have another project that I've started on. I don't know if you've read or heard anything about the Scaleless ball pythons.
Oh yeah, I heard Brian Barczyk made that.
Yes. Now I've got a pastel scaleless head male.
Wow.
Which you take two scaleless ones. This one actually, this coming season. Now these hadn't been handled that much, and the female actually is aggressive, and plus she's in shed.
Oh yeah.
But you just see the few missing scales on the head.
Yeah, I heard that.
All right. You take this. I'll take this male, which I can produce. It's a codominant gene, so I can breed that to other females, and the babies will come out, and half of them will be the scaleless head. Like, the prices of these are going to start dropping. Actually, they've already started dropping. But, and it's a shame, because they're, but anyway, here's the female. She's getting ready to shed, and she's a little aggressive. And she's got loose skin on top of her head.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can look towards her nose and you can see the missing scales and stuff. She actually shows it pretty well. So anyway, I breed those two together, which will probably be at more than a year this season. Actually, probably about 2 years before. Before.
Whoa.
See, I told you she's aggressive. Before I breed those together. And all right, the bananas, a Candino, scaleless head, albino pied, candy head pied, leopard. All right, pinstripes. This.
Oh yeah, I just made an episode of my series a few days ago about the pinstripe.
All right, this one I've raised this from a baby. This is one of my larger females, but I had a normal female that was huge, and after I got got 10 eggs from her each season, and I bred banana to her, and after 2 or 3 seasons of breeding my banana to her and a few others, I made my money back on my male banana, and I went ahead and sold him, but I still have those 2 males. And but the pinstripe is a nice snake. This one's not carrying any special gene or anything. I have another one I picked up that it's the same, but this one I grew from a baby. This one I picked up just because she was breeding size, and I got her at such a good deal, and I can make banana pinstripes and lemon blast pinstripes, which is pastel and pinstripe and banana together. I've done that with this one. And this one I'm going to be breeding. Well, I bred, and I don't know, it was late in the season, I don't know if it took. And this one is another female I picked up in the breeding season that I bred. This one is a pastel fire. I haven't held her much either.
Yeah, she hissing.
But hopefully I'll get this. The fire gene will produce the all white, the white snake with black eyes, and sometimes with orange patches on it. But more candies. Not candies, I'm sorry. These are banana females. A lot of people have the banana males, but I have actual breeding size banana females that I bred this year, and hadn't gotten eggs from them yet, but should get something soon. This pied.
Oh my gosh.
That It's probably going to nail me. There we go.
You filming? Oh my God.
This is a piebald spider combination. And they usually only have pattern on the head. Sometimes they're completely white.
I know.
And they're called a white wedding, I think. Something like that. And
so pied, spied.
Yeah. Now, I bred a banana that's like yours. It's 2/3 chance carrying a piebald gene. So, if it is carrying the piebald gene, I should get spides with yellow-orange heads.
Wow.
This is my baby rack. As the babies hatch, and I keep them in this until I wholesale them. And as you can tell, there's 40 racks here, but I don't have that many snakes. I used to have these full, plus I had another rack of 5. I used to have so many. But like I said, I cut back 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So I have 24 snakes, not counting new babies. So I'm trying to keep it at a manageable size where it's easy to take care of this amount. Half of my snakes I have eaten frozen thawed, and the other half are eating live. At one point I had them almost all, but as I would get new babies, it would be expensive babies. I was trying to grow them fast, so I kept with the live food.
He still eats live. We just gave up trying.
Yep. But what also helps though is I don't know, this little Mister thing makes a noise, but it sounded like it was over here instead of behind me. But that's the collection. And I hope you enjoyed it. Right, this is the mother to your snake. That's the father. And but like I said, I bred these two together instead of breeding the albino heifer pied to them, because I wanted to. It made it a 1 in 4 chance that I would produce an albino pie that way. But then all the pied offspring would be considered possibles for carrying albino gene, 2/3.
And thank you very much, Mr. Dennis, for this experience. Now we are going to end this very special episode of Animal Morphs. Thank you guys for watching. Keep spreading word on the sidewalks. I'm E Monster. I'm out.
You're welcome.